Good morning, Scatty Nana. I hope you are doing well. Francie, good morning. Welcome to this morning's coffee brew. I hope you both had a wonderful week. Bum, bum. Where are the people? The people. It's 8 a.m. Wake up. It's time for the coffee brew recap show. Good morning, Gemma and Pippadot. Good morning and welcome to this morning's recap show, Coffee Brew. I hope you both have a wonderful week. Gemma, I didn't get home until almost 12 o'clock last night, so I watched your stream in rewind this morning. Gianna Marie's in the house. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's been a fun week. Weather, off and on, it's been in the hundreds here, but supposed to only be in the mid 90s today where I am, but I'm hoping to get some things accomplished this week. I've got some errands and things I have to do outside, so fingers crossed that the temperature holds under 100. Really hard to do a lot of stuff outside when it's that hot. At least for me. It's like, I'll do it a little bit and then I'll go in and I'll do a little bit and I'll go in. Either that or I have to wait until after 6 o'clock at night. I've got ideas for us to do a show. I'm thinking of calling it the 411 on autism. Ooh, that's a good idea. The information on autism. It's a good idea. Maybe you could get Meep to take Meep music. Maybe he'd be interested in taking part in it too. Is it humid, Gianna Marie? The humidity has been running around 40%. This is an awful time of year for weather-wise, where I live. I live in what's called a semi-desert or high plateau desert. So we have everything here except for cactus. But it's sand, sagebrush, and a lot of rock. Kitty Coo, good morning. Ooh, Kitty Coo, I hope you had a wonderful week. Got to check my calendar. Let's see, August. Today is the 5th of August. Israel-born murderer convicted suspect of racial serial killings and multiple stabbings. He is suspected of a string of 18 stabbing attacks in the spring and the summer of 2010, which resulted in 5 deaths. He was arrested August 5th, 2010 in Arlington, Virginia during a traffic stop. He was taken into custody because he had a warrant out for his arrest for simple assault and later released on a personal bond. Eliza, I'm not even sure how to pronounce that last name. You can try it. Yeah, give a shot at it. Kitty Q. I got the Down syndrome Barbie today. She's adorable. I didn't know there was one. SoCal is in the house with Gianna Marie. Give it another 20 seconds here, and we're going to get this party started. Recap of the cases that I've been following and reporting on. Gemma, I have been doing great, and I hope you have been as well. Been busy, that's for sure. My son just finished up day camp with ARC, A-R-C, the ARC, which is an organization here in America that AIDS, young adults and children up to the age of 21 uh, who have barriers to education, employment, and and such. But they do a lot with children who are on the spectrum. And there were 27 kids, I believe, who signed up for the summer camp. Monday through Thursday, and they go for 4 hours a day, and they're every other day is like some either a swimming activity or they do arts and crafts. But every child in the program is on the spectrum. So, and each kid who's in the program gets partnered up with a friend, a pal, because it was also done with another organization that does that. So the two organizations put this together, and they also have a longer program that's more than 4 hours. That's all day, and they have overnight stays as well. But that's not until you have to be age 8 or up for that, and he's only 7. So, all right, I've been working on contact usual, but trying to do better with my eye contact. Streaming the videos is still getting complaints. So quickly before I get to the today's content, Gemma, I was talking to my daughter and her friend, who is my daughter's best friend, is on the spectrum as well, and I was telling them about the complaints that you've been getting about eye contact with the camera, and both of them said a for her Beth, especially her friend who's on the spectrum, she streams on Twitch. So here's your camera. Just pretend there's a camera right here. Okay, we'll use this as a camera. So this is a voice recorder. So say this is the camera right here below the camera. They said print out a picture of like either a cat or something that is familiar to you that you'd want to look at. So it looks like you're looking at the camera, but you're looking at the actual picture itself. And lastly, they said, don't give any weight to anybody who complains about that. They obviously don't understand what it's like and what your barriers are on the spectrum. Okay? So with that in mind, let's get this party started. Coffee recap show. So these are the cases that I've been following as of July 30th through August 4th. And it should go without having to say, but warning, viewer discretion is strongly advised for the pictures and content that are used within any stream that I do. I don't pull any punches. I tell it, the facts as they are. And I hope that people appreciate that I'm not going to sugarcoat what's out there and what's going on in this world. All right. First one is Nagasi Zibari. I'm sure I'm probably mispronouncing both of his first and last name. This man is accused of, he went to this happened in Oregon, Klamath Falls, Oregon. He went to Seattle and kidnapped a prostitute and brought her back to Klamath Falls and held her prisoner. The second picture is a picture of the actual make-believe jail cell that he had set up in his garage. Now the walls were rebarred and they have concrete. And the next one I will show you a closer picture of. The woman punched her way out the door. That is a metal door there. It looks like a wooden door, but it's actually made of metal, aluminum, but it's reinforced. But Captain Rob Reynolds of the Klamath Falls Department of Oregon said that the alleged kidnapper sexually assaulted and used his victim used her survival skills to escape from the 5'10" cinder block cell. This man they're now the FBI, and that is not a clickable link there to the FBI, but they believe he has done something similar to this in all of the states that are listed there: Washington State, Oregon, California, Nevada, Utah, Colorado, New York, New Jersey, Alabama, and Florida. Those are the states that he has lived in. And each and every place he has moved to, he has brought these cinder blocks with him, along with the reinforcement. So at the top of the cell, it came apart with a long, what's called thread awl. So it was a threadle that went all the way to the bottom block, and then a nut and a giant washer at the top so it could form an actual wall. But he could take the thing apart. Again, these cinder blocks are not hollow. And you have to imagine that this entire thing probably weighed, somewhere close to 500-600 pounds based on what I could figure from math for what concrete weighs, per pound per square inch. So they're looking into all of those. The FBI, and I put the link there. It's Zabari victims at FBI.gov, FBI.gov/Zabari victims. If you think you know somebody who may have been a victim or is a victim of this individual in one of those states, they would like to hear from you. It doesn't matter what your background or the person's background is, because he has most likely done this to dozens of women across the United States. And those victims may not be alive right now, but the FBI is looking into it. And this is a close-up of the actual prison or jail cell. This is made in his garage in the back corner. So if you look all the way to the right, there looks like a white sheet there with blue paint on it. He actually spray painted the windows from the inside blue, along with the windows on the door, and then hung sheets over them. But at least they got air conditioning, because that's an air conditioner, a portable unit that is there on the left. On the right. But that is the jail cell, and he covered up any possible light that could get into the jail cell with other blankets and towels and everything else. But that is a close-up of the actual cell itself. Next is good old Brian Kohlberg, former WSU PhD of criminology student, is accused of killing the 4 U of I students, which stands for the University of Idaho, Moscow campus. Through his attorney this past week, he had to enter a defense of alibi to the charges that he is currently charged with. He said that his alibi is that he was driving around all night long in his car. He went from Pullman, Washington to Moscow to back to Colfax and other areas. He did not stop and talk to anybody, nor did he go anywhere in particular. And this lasted until the wee hours of the morning. That is his defense to the charges right now. But he had to enter his actual plea this past week. Broke out of that garage, yeah. All right, next. Good old Lori Vallow Daybell. And in case you guys are wondering, and I got a lot of slack on the last 2 videos about calling her Lori Vallow Daybell. People think it's disparaging to use the name Vallow. Ladies and gentlemen, her prison ID, she is through the Department of Corrections, she is listed as Lori Vallow Daybell, and then the aliases last name of Lori, Laureen, Ryan, and all the other last names and names that she has used. But she is booked into prison as Lori Vallow Daybell. That is what is on her actual Department of Corrections ID. So for those people out there that don't like me or anybody else using the last name of Vallow, it is factually correct to use the name Vallow Daybell, because that is how she is listed. But Lori has been moved into the custody of the Department of Idaho. She is currently at the Women's Correction Center in Pocatello, where she is having her risk assessment done, which can take anywhere from 14 days to several months. And here is what they go over during that risk assessment: her mental health state, her physical well-being, what type of programs she needs while she's in prison, what is her risk to other inmates, what is her risk from other inmates, what kind of security she needs. All of this is addressed to give her an overall score, and then that will determine where she goes in the actual prison system. they will most likely ship her way out of the state of Idaho. It could be Montana, it could be Alaska, it could be anywhere. But once they determine her actual score, she will then be put into the Department of Justice's system for her to be sent off to a prison. There's a lot of rumors out there that she will be spending her time in Idaho. Now, there's a caveat to that, and that is the Department of Corrections in the state of Arizona. They have a valid extradition warrant for her arrest to be brought back to Arizona to stand trial. Once the state of Idaho is done, and they are actually done once they've come up with their score, if the state of Arizona decides that they want to extradite her back to Arizona to stand trial, they have 90 days to actually come to the state of Idaho, pick her up, and transport her back to the state of Arizona. And then the state of Idaho will relinquish custody to the state of Arizona. So that's where that stands right now. But they have a valid extradition warrant that they have not executed yet, as of yet, because the state of Idaho is not done with her classification and her assessment. All right, next. Lori Vallow again now claims, and this was part of her actual at the sentencing, she claims that J.J. Vallow and Ty Lee and Tammy have visited her from the grave and spoke with her. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I guess her porthole is good for something else besides just visiting Chad. They have come through the porthole to talk to her. She said that JJ told her after his murder, "You didn't do anything wrong, Mom. I love you, and I know that you loved every minute of my life." End quote. That is from the sentencing. Lori also claims JJ is now an adult spirit and very tall. He is busy, he is engaged, he has jobs that he does, he is happy where he is. His life was short, but JJ's life was meaningful. End quote. Yes, the delusional doomsday mother believes that Tammy Daybell, who had this lady had an affair with her husband before she died, has come through the portal and is totally cool with Lori Vallow and Chad killing her. And that JJ is happy in the afterlife on the other side of the veil. And so is Ty Lee. She is delusional as hell. Doesn't mean she's insane. She's just delusional. There's an actual difference. Francie, you wonder who was driving the driver. She stopped and that person called 911. I don't know the reference to that. She told that lie, and she's been to heaven to meet Jesus. Yes. Oh, yes, indeed. Yes. Well, they also believe that they were married in a past life, too. So, all right, next. That should say Keegan, not Kagan. Keegan Anthony Klein, one of the last people to communicate with Abby and Libby from Delphi, Indiana, was sentenced to 40 years in prison for a host of charges unrelated to the murders. These are for child pornography and child exploitation. 40 years. The 40 years sentence that he got, he has a possibility of being out on parole in 36 years. But he has a 40-year sentence that he was given. Keegan Anthony Klein. This is the man who was using the name Anthony _shots, a profile online, to catfish teenage girls into sending him explicit photographs and videos. The FBI, as of the sentence, the week prior to the sentencing, the last update they had was they've only been able to identify 32% of the thousands of images of underage girls that he was able to convince to send him videos or photos of. Little over 30%. These could be your nieces. This could be your daughters. These could be your daughters or your nieces' friends. They're all teenage girls, and and the photo that he used was of a model, obviously not this oompa loompa looking individual, but he was able to over a long period of time. And on top of it, though, Keegan Klein's father also had access to it, and is a sick son of a beep as well. And I'm sure he was into the same thing as his son. Good morning, Jacqueline. How come we never hear about Abby and Libby's case? We do. I don't know how you're searching for it. This morning I watched 9 or 10 different videos on Abby and Libby and the Delphi murders, and the individual who has been charged with it, and all of them were released just this past week. So you might want to change your search criteria, or clear your cache and your cookies if you're not finding it that way. Sometimes if you have too many cookies, it can actually block the actual your search results, even on YouTube. So I'm sorry that you haven't been able to find it though. All right, next, Carly Russell. For all those that don't remember who Carly Russell is the woman who said that she pulled over because she saw a toddler wearing a diaper along the interstate highway. And when she got out, it was a ruse, and then she was kidnapped. She faked the entire thing. She has been charged with 2 misdemeanors at this point, but the prosecuting attorney said that this is not the end of it. Additionally, she will most likely have to pay for the search for her. She will have to reimburse her employer for the theft of the bathrobe and other items that she stole from there. And yes, she has been terminated from her job as well. But she faked the entire thing. And state, local law enforcement, the FBI, and a lot of people went out looking for her, and the entire thing was fake. At this point, we really don't know why she did. There's a lot of people speculating. She wanted the attention. Obviously, she wanted the attention, though. But why did she feel that this was the reason, the way to go to actually get the attention? I have a video on Carly Russell and this entire case that is coming up this week. I was waiting for the prosecuting attorney to file the first charges against her, and right now she has been charged with 2 misdemeanors, and those are for obstruction of law enforcement and filing a false police report. But like they said, they have more charges, and they're most likely going to be filed against her at this point. Next, Robert Chambers. Does anybody remember Robert Chambers? Robert Chambers was called the Preppy Killer. Sorry, the Preppy Killer. He was convicted of killing Jennifer Levin back in 1986 in Central Park. He was released this past week on parole. The Preppy Killer is now out. He is restricted to the New York, New Jersey area. If he wants to go anywhere else, he must notify the parole department and be pre-approved before he goes anywhere. I tried to find out how long he's going to be on parole for. Several different outlets reported different timelines. Some said 10, another one said 15, another one said 11. So I really can't answer how long he's going to be on parole for. So, I guess we could take the average and just say maybe 11 and a half years, somewhere in there. I don't know for sure, though. But the Preppy Killer has been released from prison. Good morning, Cement Shoes. Yeah, they're letting everyone out. He got because of an actual reform on those who were sentenced underneath certain guidelines. That is how he was eligible for parole. Otherwise, he would have been sentenced to, I think, 23 years was what the minimum he would have had to have done. On the manslaughter or whatever the murder charge that he had, and that wasn't the addition. There were more charges than that, so he should have been in prison at the very minimum, I believe, for another 7 years, but because it was 23 on the one charge, and then all the other ones stacked on top of it, and they were supposed to run consecutively. But because of reforms, got to thank your governors, and your state legislators for allowing this stuff to happen if you don't like it. Next. All right. That's it for the crime stories that I've been following this week. As you can see, this is a photo of my desktop for 411 Now. So you go to this page, you can click on home, video, shorts, lives, playlists, community, membership, and channels that I actually like and tell people about. Do you actually click on the notifications of upcoming live streams? According to YouTube's analytics, let me get the paper out here. This morning, for this live stream, the Saturday Morning Coffee Brew, which is on the left there, only 3 people clicked on notify me. 3. On the Dennis Rader BT Key Killer Trivia Night that is coming up tomorrow, 7 people have clicked on notify me of tomorrow's live stream. Yet each and every live stream that I do, I see people in the actual streams that say they didn't get notification. And then in the comment section after the live stream, I get people who said I never got my notifications. So I'm asking everyone, if you do click on the notify me from my actual page, from 411 Now, put a 1 in the comment section if you actually get the notifications. If you don't, click on notify me, put 2, and you just watch me because I show up on what's next. 1 if you click on notify, 2 if you don't. Good morning, Gayla. I don't fault anybody for doing it either way. I'm just looking into trying to figure out why notifications are not going out to people. I want everybody to be notified, but I understand, especially if you have a lot of subscriptions, it's overwhelming for me. I have over 300 channels that I subscribe to, and if I got 300 notifications from people doing live streams, I mean, my phone would blow up. I'm pretty sure of it, or it'd have a meltdown. All right. Good morning, Short and Ice. All right, next. This is notification in advance, ladies and gentlemen. I will be taking my yearly vacation from August 14th through August 23rd. I will not be anywhere near, or have the ability. I'm hoping if I have Wi-Fi, I will be able to do at least the Saturday morning live. But there will be no trivia on August 20th. I will be in the mountains, the Cascade Mountains, and then I will be in Centralia, Chehalis, Washington. And when I get to Centralia and Chehalis, Washington, I'm hoping to be able to find someplace besides McDonald's, because that's the only thing that's really there on that side of town where I will be that has a public Wi-Fi. The Starbucks doesn't open before I think 9. It's just a small little Starbucks, and there's a couple other coffee places, but they don't have public Wi-Fi that you can get from outside. And I do this trip every year. So again, from August 14th through the 23rd, I will not be here. There will be no videos. There will be no live streams. There will be no trivia nights, nothing. Again, but I'm hoping to do a live stream. If I can find a Wi-Fi network, on the 19th, which is going to be interesting because on the 19th, when I get there to Centralia, I walk around town like a, I don't know, kind of like a zombie. I watch all the tweakers. That's what I do. No joke. And that's it. That's it for the recap for this week. Those are the cases that I've been following. McDonald's hash browns and French fries, they are good, aren't they? I like the French fries. I'm not big on the big old hash browns. I like the little nugget ones from Burger King. There's more of them to dip into, like a sauce. I like to dip them in either honey barbecue or just plain mustard. I recorded a video shortly about why I do autism training. Mm. Sounds interesting, Gemma. Well, thank you, Kitty Q. Gayla, you're going to have wheel withdrawals. No, I do this trip every year. The first 4 days, I just go someplace. I turn off all my devices, cell phone, everything, and I just do nothing. I I might go fishing. I might go hiking. I might try to find myself a mountain lion. Um, but I don't do anything. I have no plans at all for those first 4 days, and then I get to Centralia, and I'm there for a golf tournament. We raise money for uh, it's for the Children's Hospital and for Veterans Outreach. Good morning, Purple. Hope you don't run into Morphew Mountain Lion. I think he's sticking to Colorado. Glad to see you too, Purple. I hope you had a wonderful week. Keep on getting the pop-up messages. Keeps on saying, I don't know if anybody else can see this. Like at the top to the left of my head, there's a pop-up message keeps on showing up. Says you can't change videos during a live stream. I'm not trying to change a video during a live stream. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Does the family go, Gianna Marie? Nope, just me. Next week, my wife will be on the Oregon coast, down around Tillamook. Her and her mother take a vacation, and they're going to be gone for 5 days. So it's just going to be me and my little man, just the two of us, hanging out, doing whatever we want to do. I'm sure we'll be eating lots of fruit popsicles and ordering a lot of deliver in food because I don't want to have to clean the kitchen. How's the knee, Francie? Very good. I would say it's about 98% there. It's about as good as it's ever going to get. I have no meniscus left in my right knee, and I had the tendons and ligaments replaced in my right knee about a year ago, and a little bit more than that now. But it's better. It's a whole lot better. We're just trying to get me through for the next 10 years until insurance says that it's feasible for me to have a knee replacement. It's stupid, I know. I mean, I need it now, but they won't do it because they say I'm under the age barrier. unless we change insurance companies, and the next one says that I can have it done. But very hard week last Saturday. My husband was within 2 hours of death. I know, Purple. We all said prayers for you, and I hope your husband is doing much better. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to drop my coffee cup there. I'm trying to move the. What is going on here? I missed something. I lost my 56-year-old brother to cancer last Saturday. I am so sorry, Short Nice. Not even 3 months from diagnosis. You were with him all last week in the hospital until the end. I'm just devastated. I'm really, truly sorry about that, Short Nice. Cancer sucks. Cancer really does suck, and it's. I wouldn't wish cancer on my worst enemy, and I don't have any enemies, at least that I know of. I got people who don't like my content, or don't like me for some made up reason, but yeah, I live my life like, hey, if you don't like me, that's not my problem. I'm me. You obviously have some misconception of what who I am or what my content is about or whatever the damn reason is. People, and then some people just don't like me because I'm here. Will, how did you watch any good movies lately, Francie? No, no, I don't ever watch TV. Um, every once in a great while, I'll catch like Netflix, but whenever I do that, I'm always watching, a documentary, or I'm watching a Netflix, like stories from death row, something like that. I don't get a chance to watch television, and it's also not really something that I seek out even when I have free time. In those very rare occasions when I do, I would much rather spend it, with my son when I have free time. And he's always wants to do something, go to the store, go to the park, something like that. So, little bit of Sandra. Good morning. Your baby brother 2 months ago, kidney failure. Damn. I'm really sorry about that, Sandra. I hope you have been doing better, or at least you're finding some way to grieve in a positive way. I hope that for everybody who loses a loved one. Take it day by day, Short and Nice. If and you as well, Sandra. If you have to, break it down hour by hour, minute by minute. There, find something that even if it's just watching television or taking your mind away from it, meditation, go for a walk, something, but allow yourself to grieve and allow yourself to feel the emotions, because you're going to get flooded, and I know you both have, and you're both going to, you're going to get flooded with everything from hysterical laughter to deep dark depression. You have to find a way to get by, and I'm sure both of your brothers would want nothing more in this world than that, to know that you're happy, and you're moving forward. Uh, it No, not really, Francie. It was a couple weeks ago, but not right now. We've had a lot of smoke here in Michigan. Um, so to give you kind of an idea of where I live, Francie. So here's the Rocky Mountains, and here are the Cascade Mountains. Okay, so they come together kind of like this at a V point. We're down in the valley in between the Cascades and the Rocky Mountains. So the weather pattern kind of goes like this, up and over the one mountain. So it doesn't actually get down in the valley. That's why it's a semi desert here. Um, the farther north you go towards Canada, from me, it gets a lot more. You have deciduous forest and stuff like that. But where I live, it's called a high desert plateau, and there's nothing here. Now, I live in the only reason why this town was here is even exists besides it used to be a small farming community, is the United States government. They developed this entire area because of the Manhattan Project. So, but when the wind and currents come from Canada, they go up from like, all right, so here's Washington State. I'm drawing it backwards. Okay, so here's Puget Sound. All right, and Washington State this way. So Puget Sound's here. The weather pattern comes in like this, up by Bellingham this way, and then it catches the ridge of the Cascades, and it moves it this way down towards away from we're over here still this way, and moves it that way towards the Rockies. And so the upper part of Washington State, and then the whole panhandle of Idaho going that way before you get to the Rockies. So weather goes that way. It doesn't get down. Never gets a chance to really come down this way. That's why in the summertime it's hot and it's humid here. Hope that gives you some kind of an understanding of where I'm at weather-wise. Like right now, I know where Purple is, located, but you never know who's going to be knocking on your door, or be standing next to you. Just keep that in mind. But we're south and southeast of where Purple is. But it's a completely different weather pattern. Like right now, it is 90 degrees and partly cloudy here. I don't know what the weather is like where Purple is. So I'm sure it's probably at least 20 degrees cooler. The sibling or a parent, thank you for your kindness and your words. Purple, I had it. The sister who was just above me in age passed away. 3 years ago, 4 years ago now. Almost 4 years ago, and I was closer to her than any of my other siblings. So I had two older sisters, and that's what. So I have a brother, two older sisters, then me, and then I have two younger sisters. And the sister was just above me in age. She was 3 years older than me. I was closer with her than any of my siblings. We always just got along, and we were always there for each other. Maybe not financially, but spiritually, and we could always lean on each other, and we could understand, from our life experiences, what was going on with each other. So we talked every week, and I'll admit straight up, I cried like a baby at her funeral, like uncontrollably. I just could not bear it. It was, but I had, it's something from within inside yourself. You have to let it go. Men and women, you have to let yourself grieve. You're in Alberta, and we have lots. You were close to your brother as well. I'm in Alberta, and we have lots of weeks of smoke. Not nice. Yeah, it was pretty bad when it first started, and the wind patterns and the smoke that came down through here. You hate funerals, Francie? I hate them too. My friend Janelle passed away, and her funeral services are they after I booked my vacation, they decided that instead of now, they're going to wait 2 weeks from now to have her services. And I'm like, why? Why would you wait 3 weeks to have services? But they're going to have the services while I'm gone, and they knew it. They know I'm going to be gone. But it's not like I would have went anyways. I would much rather. This is just me. Okay, this is not for anybody else, but just me. I would rather remember my friend, my sister, in my own way, and the memories I have with them, is what I'm going to carry forward for the rest of my life. And not, and the funeral itself, I guess, it gives people closure. And I understand the entire reason why we have funeral. I don't like funeral homes. And and for my sister, we had her services in her home. So it was more personal. But I don't like funeral homes. I don't like them at all. So I totally agree with that. You lost both your parents 17 days apart. That has got to be hard as hell, cement shoes. That has got to be hard. Well, thank you, Gayla. Some people don't believe it, believe in guardian angels or and and such. But I believe my sister is watching over me. And every once in a while, out of the blue, I'll be reading something, or I'll hear a joke, like a comedian will tell a joke, and it snaps me back into that time, that place, that memory, that of when we were younger, we didn't have our ill health or whatever, and it just brings a smile to my face, and I think it's because in my mind, in my faith, I believe that she's there and she's reminding me again, hey, look, remember what the last part was awful, but don't forget the 40 years before then. No funeral for me and hubby. We'll have a burial at sea. There you go. If that's what you want. Each Boyer, you'd like it very good. Very good. Yeah. I never had the sister connection, but I had the brother and sister. And little brother was a little hellion. And whenever somebody messed with any of my sisters, they had hell to pay with me. My sister used to, my sister Chris, and my sister Kimberly a lot more. She would, she always said, that I would either take an ounce of flesh, but or a yard of pain, for anybody who messed with them. Me, I would, that's what they'd say about me. Even as a little guy, I was always protecting my older sisters, my younger sisters. Will all the beloved pets and people who have died are now your cloud of love looking out for you. I believe that. Well, Lucky is right here. I keep Lucky with me at all times. He's always looking over my shoulder. Your door. You never know who's going to be at your door or that's standing next to you. Who's that? That was me. That was me knocking. I know it. Oh, oh man, your husband got sepsis, Pippadot? Damn. My friend Charlie, um, he lost his left foot to diabetes, complications from diabetes, and he was afraid that he was never going to be able to ride his Harley again. And there was a company out there that actually they do something with a gyroscope and actually were able to make his Harley so he could actually still ride. And it self balances out so he could still ride it. And he had all the controls were moved up to his thumbs for shifting and everything else and brake and all that stuff. So it was all by his hands. But I'm really sorry that your husband ended up losing his left foot. Life has been different since then. I would imagine so. I'm sorry. I'm just scrolling back up. I noticed as I'm doing this, I should be doing this, listening, reading. I was trying to find the name of the lady that killed her 3-year-old. Angels and Demons. What's that about? Where is it at, Francie? Kim68. Sorry I missed you. Good morning and welcome to this morning's Coffee Brew recap. Not sure if you're still here or not. I'm sorry for not saying hello. I missed you as this chat was going by. I read a story about a lady in Carolina who killed her child. Cascade Mountains sound beautiful. I've rarely seen mountains in my lifetime. Not in southern Texas, but we do have the beautiful the Gulf of Mexico. Walking almost 2 days later after the removal of his foot, but Wills is still wearing that boot, hasn't healed as of yet. Oh, damn. Well, maybe I'll shoot a video in the mountains of the Cascades for you, Sandra. Give you because you can see the place that I'm going to. I'm not going to divulge it because I don't want anybody showing up there. I walk out of the cabin that I'm going to be staying in, and you see Mount Rainier across the lake from where I'm going to be. It's the most beautiful, stunning thing that you'll ever see. I think about a year ago, or maybe it was 2 years ago, I took pictures of it and I posted it on the community tab. But damn YouTube, they delete things that are after a certain time period if nobody actually clicks on and reads the actual community. I think it's like 3 years or 4 years, and they delete things that used to be on the community tab. I had no idea that stuff was even happened. Well, it's Angels and Survivors. The lady is Christina Riesch Boyer. Okay. I think I read about something about her this past week. New documentary on Hulu. I'm gonna have to look into that. Christina Boyer. Reichart. Good morning, Reichart. I want to live in a log cabin. Yeah, I mean, I'd be okay for a while getting off the grid, and ditching all this electronic noise. But I think if I would end up what was it the movie with what's his name? Oh, hold on a second. Johnny Depp. The movie Secret Window. Has anybody ever seen Secret Window? He plays a writer who lives in a very rural community, and I think, if I was to go off the grid for that long, I mean, I certainly wouldn't kill my wife and plant corn over the top of her, but I would go a little nutty if I was off the grid for too long. Kitty Q, you lost your brother in 2013. I still talk to him. all the time and wear his shirts when I travel. Sometimes I spray his favorite cologne. Just watch movies we love. It gets easier. He was your best friend. I am truly sorry about your loss, Kitty Coo. You saw the secret window? Yeah, that's a mind bender right there. But I think I would go a little nutty like that. I mean, I wouldn't commit homicide and plant corn, over the top of my wife or anybody else, but I would definitely lose it a little if I was off the grid for too long. But this vacation that I take into the mountains, and I turn everything off, all the devices, and I put them in my luggage, and I just like that's it. I am not being contacted by anybody, and everybody knows it. It's my way of recharging my batteries and kind of centralizing myself again. I guess you could say finding and getting back to what is really at the core of who I am. I really enjoy it. I really do. 4 days is good. I would love to stay there longer, but it costs a lot, a lot more than I want to pay. Let's just put it that way. But I do it anyways. I mean, I could do the same thing for cheap with a tent in a campground, but or backpack and into an area, and play friendly, tag with mountain lions. But no, I like this mountain lions, bobcats. I've seen them all. Bears, seen bears, a lot of bears, especially on the opposite side of the lake. And the place that I go to, they have a free canoe that like you don't have to rent it and pay for it. And they have one of those paddle boat things for two people. So, no, Francie, I have not had breakfast. See y'all tomorrow. You have a great one, Purple. Yesterday night, I drove I-495 west to exit 10 and didn't see any toddler wearing a white T-shirt. I covered that, right, Cart? She's been charged with two misdemeanors so far, and the prosecuting attorney said additional charges may be filed against her later on. Did you stop for Cheez-Its? No. That's funny. No, I haven't had breakfast, nor have I made breakfast yet, but I'm going to here in a couple of minutes. A couple more minutes, and then we're going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. So in the meantime, while we're still here, if you like this, live stream, the Saturday morning recaps, please hit that thumbs up button. I ask nothing more than to hit the subscribe button if you want to subscribe and you like my content. If not, click on my channel, watch some more videos. If you like them, subscribe then. If not, don't. But if you like what I do here, give it a thumbs up. It's free to do both. You can subscribe and you can give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whichever. I would prefer a thumbs up though. Has anyone seen those Chinese zoo bears that look human? Crazy? No, I've seen pandas. I think it was at the Portland Zoo, or it was either that or the Point Defiance Zoo. But I've never seen a bear that looks like a human though. Don't forget to take care of yourself too. I will. I hope Purple does as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up here. Again, I want to thank everyone for stopping in this morning, and for the recap and the open chat. I hope everyone has a terrific week ahead. Don't forget, tomorrow night we are playing live trivia here. In case you have never stopped in and checked it out, tomorrow night we are doing live trivia at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you may have to adjust that to whatever time zone you're in. around the world. But tomorrow we are doing trivia on the BTK killer, Dennis Rader. Dennis Rader, there are 16 regular questions and one bonus question on every single Sunday night trivia. Again, that's at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank everyone for being here, and I hope you all have a great week and stay safe out there. And for those who have lost loved ones in the past, I will say a prayer for each and every one of you. And I hope that you find some way in your heart, in your mind it's never going to go away. The pain is always going to be there, but be able to, change a little bit of that pain into remembrance and joy. You can keep going. Don't give up. Your loved one who has passed does not wish for you to cross over with them. None of us are demented like Lori Vallow. Remember that. Bye.